And with you every morning. Listen online at WCTCAM.com. Jersey moves fast. Join the show that keeps you one step ahead. Jersey Central with Bert Barron on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
7:09. Welcome to hour number 2 of Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. Good morning to you. It's Bert. 37, cloudy. We'll get to the mid-50s to close to 60 today. Your full forecast is coming up, another traffic update as well. And we'll do our contest coming up a little bit later on this hour for the 4 tickets for American Repertory Ballet's brand new show at the McCarter Theater Center in Princeton this coming Friday night. Your chance to win that is coming up in just a bit. If you are a fan, and who isn't nowadays, of the Netflix series Orange is the New Black, my guest who's joining me now on the Jersey Central Newsmaker Hotline is currently being featured in the 5th season of the Netflix series. And quite a story he's got to tell. Let's welcome my guest, Jimmy Gary Jr., who is with me this morning on WCTC. Jimmy, good morning. It's Bert Barron. How are you, man?
I'm wonderful, Bert. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good talking to you, and congratulations, man. Getting a gig here on a hit show, man. That's got to be real exciting for you.
Oh, yeah, definitely exciting. I'm totally grateful, man. It's this industry can be challenging at some time, but, you just keep going, and sometimes, that door opens.
Yeah, good for you for hanging in there. And it's got to be, like, kind of different for an actor from your perspective. Sometimes, you're filming a show and you're wondering, man, is anybody watching this? Is it any different when you're doing a show that you've got a big audience and people are demanding the content? It's kind of a little bit more exciting for an actor, right?
Oh, definitely. To be on a hit show, I mean, that's a wonderful feeling, I found myself walking in the streets of New York and people recognizing me and things like that from the show. So that's how you can kind of gauge the success of the show. And Orange is the New Black is an amazing opportunity. The cast, crew, everybody that's involved are amazing. And, once I got on the show, it was already successful. And in the 2nd season, I came in the 3rd season, but it was already reaching its success. So the actors that carried that torch, up to that point, and throughout the rest of the seasons, are just amazing talents. And I'm just grateful to be a part of it. But it is exciting.
Yeah.
It is exciting, and it's kind of like football. I'm used to it because I played football. But to be on a hit show, that's like winning the Super Bowl in a way.
Yeah, exactly, right. Well written, well produced, and all kinds of awards. And don't ever let that get old, Jimmy. People spotting you on the street and saying, "Oh, hey, you're the guy that's on that TV show." Love that for every moment, man, because you never want that to end.
Oh yeah,
right. And about
that's right.
talk about your sports stuff. I know you played multiple sports growing up in Florida, and drafted in the NFL, which had to be really cool for you. But was acting something that was always another passion of yours? Because to be so good at 2 things is very rare, and obviously you're wildly successful at both. How do you do both? And when did the acting bug kind of bite you?
Well, the acting bug. Actually, it bit me early on in high school, but I was such a shy kid when it came to that, to that topic of acting and art, because I played football. It's such a rough and tough sport.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually really, really good at football. I was a parade All-American coming out of high school, the number 1 running back in the country. And I went to West Virginia University to play, to get my degree and to finish playing, my college football career. But I had a marvelous time on the gridiron, on the field. The energy from the fans. It's just a different ball game, and it's so different from acting. I had to really learn how to control my energy in a way to where it's more calm. Opposed to football, to where, I had to get jacked up.
Right.
I had to really get jacked up because you're going out for that gladiator sport. And in acting, it's so different. It's about the breath, and it's just so, if you're starting in a place of calm, then there's a lot that you can go from. But as opposed to football, when you start out all geeked up, you're at your top level at the beginning, and during the game it kind of goes down as you get more comfortable. But comparing the two, it was it's different in the way of energy, but as far as the focus and the being passionate about acting as well as football, it's the same. I mean, it's the same. It's like I took my passion for football and just switched it over to acting. And I had to learn. Like, I stumbled a lot, I mean, I was homeless in New York City for 6 months pursuing my acting when I wasn't a really good actor.
Wow.
I thought I was good. I was good enough to book some roles, but I think I was just too ignorant at the time to really understand, what path to take when I chose this acting career. I kind of just jumped in it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I think it's kind of normal for you to be homeless for a second to pursue your dream. I've heard some actors say that. So I would go to New York sports clubs, take showers, and pursue my dream. I bought a car for $100 that was broken down. And I lived in it for a little while, in Queens, in Jamaica, Queens, New York. And it was kind of, as I look back on it now, I'm glad I did it. I'm not advising anyone to do that, but I'm glad I did it because I wasn't upset. I wasn't mad when I was living in that car. I was like, this is what I have to do to pursue it. As long as I kept working towards my goal of getting acting jobs and going out and auditioning and meeting agents and all this thing, it wasn't a bad deal for me.
Yeah, it's a grind, man. I mean,
the payoff was worth it.
It's a real grind, and people think that acting is glamour and champagne and caviar and limousines and red carpets and going to parties all the time. Man, it's a grind, and you went through it, man. And I'm glad that the payoff is there for you. But I dig what you're also doing when you're not in front of the cameras or on the field too. You work with kids. You're a motivational speaker. Why is it so important to give back to youth and the next generation, Jimmy? Why is that so important to you?
It's very important to me. I'm the son of a minister. My father passed away in 2005, and I kind of tell everybody wanted me to follow in my father's footsteps and become a minister, but something in me just knew that I couldn't be confined to just one place. I needed something that moved me in a way spiritually, and so giving back, to kids and motivational speaking and sharing, my trials and tribulations and some of my decisions that put me in a great place, and some of my decisions that put me in a place where I had to pick myself back up. So I think that when kids see that I've accomplished all these things in life, and when I speak to them and I tell them my journey and all the ups and downs that I had to go on, and I seem more natural and normal to them because they can relate to that emotional roller coaster that we all live on in this life, in our lives. And so my experience is good and bad. I share it with the kids, and I motivate the kids, not just kids also. I mean, even adults, I mean, it's amazing to see an adult in businesses or speaking to companies, and to see these adults sitting there looking at you like kids, like wanting information. I didn't realize what God had blessed me with until I got older. I always took it for granted, my athletic ability, even my sense of communicating with people. I didn't take it for granted, but I didn't build a pond on it because it was just such a natural thing. I think because my father was a minister, my uncle being Willie Gary, famous attorney, and my cousin being Cleveland Gary, who played for the Rams, drafted #1 draft pick out of Miami to the Rams. they're successful in ways, but also too they're deeply rooted into the church, and speaking and communicating with people is something that was always amongst us, as far as helping people.
You've been blessed with a lot, man. You've been blessed with a lot, and you're using it for positive things, which is great. So whether it's football or working with young people and inspiring people, and of course, as an actor on a great show is awesome for you too. So we will look for you. You play a corrections officer on Orange, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The next season coming out is it's the sixth season. But I'm also in another Netflix show called First Match.
Okay.
That it's a wonderful movie. This young actress, she did an amazing job to carry this film, and I'm just happy to be a part of the movie. The overall message in the story is very, very, very deep, and it's. I mean, on the surface of it, you just see this young girl going through her life, and dealing with all these situations. But the message in it is just amazing.
Awesome.
And that film, if you can catch that film, man, it's wonderful. We shot it in Brooklyn, New York. Amazing cast. Amazing director, writer, producer. Everybody's just was awesome in it.
Cool.
The budget was low, but it's getting great reviews.
All right. I'll be forward to look for it, man. As we wrap up, Facebook, Twitter, social media, people can follow you. How do we do that?
Yes, you can reach me out on Twitter at Jimmy Gary Jr. My Instagram is at Jimmy Gary Jr. and my Facebook is Jimmy Gary Jr.
Awesome, man. Well, we'll be sure to look for you on all those, and we'll be sure to connect, too. Jimmy, thanks for the time this morning, man. Continued success, and congratulations on everything. I know it hasn't come easy for you, but keep up the great work, man. And I always ask people that have similar lines of work that have